taking the same course of action and expecting a different result? Well, that's insanity. Are you not tired of being sick and tired? Raise the frequency. Every frequency omits and absorbs its same frequency. Hence you have the metaphor, birds of a feather flock together. Out of the 5 people you choose to hang around with the most, you'll eventually become the average. Raise the frequency. Raise the frequency. Raise the frequency. Raise the frequency. All right, you guys, welcome to episode number 2 of Raise the Frequency. How you guys doing? Our first episode was dealing with misery love company. I feel like misery love company, the friends that we choose to hang around, usually that's what hinders our progress, our evolution, right? So I just want to get that cleared away just so we can just be cognizant of the people that we surround ourselves with. Now, we're dealing with depression, episode number 2. Now, in this program, we're going to speak about depression. We're going to speak about the signs of depression, things that trigger depression, and solutions for depression. Let's just speak about just the signs of depression starting off. All right, continued sadness, hopelessness, emptiness, irritability, restlessness, fatigue, lack of energy, anxiety. These are all signs of depression. Pessimism. Most people that are depressed, they're continuously sad. You can see it in their face, right? They're hopeless. They're pessimists as opposed to being optimistic. You see a person that's optimistic, they're always looking for a solution. They always feel like they can find a solution to any problem. A person that's pessimistic, they're always looking for a problem. They're looking for the fault in the idea. They're looking for the kinks in the armor. They're trying to figure out a way that it's not going to work, as opposed to being optimistic and finding a solution for the problem. All right. Hopelessness, emptiness, continued sadness. These are all things that correlate with depression. I think we all can agree with that. Sadness, fatigue, insomnia, lack of energy. You see people that suffer from depression, they're usually tired all the time. They're not getting enough sleep. You can see it in their face. They have bags under their eyes. These are all signs of depression that you guys can look for. If you guys get a chance, if you have any family members or friends that suffer from depression, look for these signs. And I bet you these things will be in correlation, right? Now, let's speak about things that trigger depression. These are the things that lead to depression, all right? For one, expectations. A lot of times we have unrealistic expectations. We don't give people enough room to fall short, right? We're human beings. And your expectations in people will make you sad. That leads to depression because you expect the person to be so loyal. You expect the person to have your back. You expect the person to be an honest person, never lie to you, right? But that's not realistic, and that's what we call unrealistic expectations. Hello, we're human beings, so let's deal with people on a human being level. Give them room to mess up. We got to give people room to fall short of our expectations, all right? Another big thing that leads to depression, living in the past. They say if you live too much in the future, that leads to anxiety because you anticipate the future too much, right? Well, if you live in the past, that leads to depression. Things that you cannot change. You have to be comfortable with things that you cannot change. There's a thing where if you can't control it, you got to give it to Most High, give it to God. Certain things you cannot control. And if you try to control things outside of yourself, knowing in fact that you're the only person that you can control, you can't control certain events that took place in your life, nor can you control certain people. This is what leads to depression also. All right. So living in the past, trying to control things outside of yourself that you have no control over. The past has already took place. You can't change those events that took place. Living too much in the future, that leads to anxiety. You anticipate the future too much. You're not even there yet. Yeah, you strategize for the future. You plan for the future. You plant seeds, but leave it at that. Let the future transpire. Let things come into fruition through hard work. All right. But try not to live too much in the future in anticipation, because that leads to anxiety. These are all signs of depression. Once again. All right. Now, sometimes lack of sunlight. Some people are introverts through traumas of life. They become introverted. When you're an introvert, you lack sunlight. You're not socializing. Remember, we're social creatures. We have to be out there moving. We have to be out there shaking. We have to be in the company of others. You cannot just function by yourself as a human being in order for you to thrive. You have to be in the company of other human beings, enjoying their company, corresponding with them, building dialogue, having a good old time, right? These are things that lead to depression. Most people that you see suffer from depression, they're laid out on the couch. They can't seem to get off that couch. They stay in bed longer than they should. Staying in bed too long can lead to depression, right? You need to get outside. And a lot of times when you're thrusted into depression, that's your body telling you that it needs to leave that house. It needs to leave that environment and go get active. All right. So do me a favor. When you guys see your friends or your family members laid out on the couch, when you see your friends or family members, they're laid out in the bed, I want you guys to take these people and rip them from that environment, rip them off that couch, rip them off of that bed. Trust me when I tell you, that's the best thing you can ever do for somebody that's an introvert, suffers from depression, and cannot come out of that house. They're like an Eskimo in an igloo. They cannot come out of that igloo. They're not getting no sun. They're blocking themselves from the sun. Remember, they suffer from depression, so there's hopelessness there. There's emptiness there. There's restlessness there. There's irritability there. There's continued sadness there. Rip them from that environment. They're becoming an introvert. They don't want to be around people. They don't want to socialize. We got to get them to socialize. Now, they're going to fight you, scratching and kicking. They're going to be scratching and kicking. It's going to happen. But you as a friend, you have to rip these people from their environment. Sometimes you can't be so hasty. Sometimes you can't be so abrasive, right? Because they might just punch you. Hopefully they don't go to that extent. But it can get there. It can get there. So this is what you're going to do. We're going to trick them. I need you guys to trick these people out of their environment. Tell them there's an urgency there. Tell them I need you. I need you right now. I need you. Can you please come help me? It's an emergency. They don't know what's going on. They're going to come running. They're going to put their shoes on. They're going to come running. Because a lot of times people, you'll find out that people will be more compelled to do things for other people than themselves. And that's the sad thing about it. They're actually good people. They just don't care about themselves at the time. So with that being said, lie to them. Lie to your brother. Lie to your sister. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, lie to them. Tell them you need them. There's an emergency. Tell them they're going somewhere that they don't know where they're actually going, or tell them that you're taking them somewhere. Tell them I need you to drive with me to this job. I need you to drive with me to this place. I need somebody with me. It's an emergency. I don't feel comfortable by myself. And this person's going to feel compelled to be by your side, to support you. Remember, they're good people. They just don't care about themselves at the time. They're hopeless. They're broken-spirited. So lie to them. Next thing you know, they're on the scene. They're with you. Do you understand me? They're with you at the time. Okay? Before they know it, they're happy. Before they know it, they're happy. All right? Now, another thing that can cause depression, drug abuse. People that take cocaine, people that take Molly, heroin, marijuana at times. Though marijuana is the divine plant, we don't demonize anything that comes from Most High, because marijuana is a divine plant. It comes from Most High. Everything that comes from Most High is divine. I can tell you guys that. So marijuana is a good thing. That's why they use it for medical use now, right? But a lot of us tend to abuse marijuana. Coffee can lead to Lack of dopamine can lead to depression. All these different things can lead to depression. Why? Okay, let me give you an example of Molly. At one point, I took Molly, and I'm not ashamed of it because, you know, I tried Molly, and nor am I proud of it, nor am I condoning it at all. Not at all. But I'm a sacrificial lamb, so I'm going to be vulnerable for you guys right now. You guys use me as an example. That's why I have to be vulnerable at times, right? If my trials and tribulations and my testimony can help any individual, I'm going to tell you what I've been through, right or wrong. Well, I took my Molly. I popped Molly like 5 different times, 5 different occasions. Nonetheless, I found it to be a great experience at first. At first, Molly was a great experience, hands down. I wish that God made that in a natural form, to be quite honest with you, right? But he doesn't. Though it does, some of the elements do come from the plant, come from a particular plant, but the synthetic form, that's not God produced, that's man produced. All right, so I took the Molly, you know, and I had a great time. It was a pleasure. Dopamine releasing, dopamine. You guys know what dopamine is. Dopamine is a happy chemical. That's part of your sensory reward system. They call it the happy chemical. Dopamine is responsible for making you happy. All right. Now, this chemical releases when you find something pleasurable. Dopamine releases. All right. When you complete a task, like at a job, and your boss gives you a compliment for completing a task and performing great. Dopamine releases. When you get compliments, dopamine releases. When you have sex and it's pleasurable, dopamine releases. This is the happy chemical. It's part of your sensory reward system. All right. Now, me taking that Molly, dopamine was releasing. That synthetic drug, cocaine and all these different drugs, they release dopamine. So that's the happy chemical. Instantly, you're satisfied. Dopamine release, you're happy. The chemical's going off, you happy, right? Now, I remember one time I went through an event that was traumatizing. A bit traumatizing, not so traumatizing, but the fact that what the Molly induced, that's what made it more traumatizing. I'm gonna get to it. All right. With that being said, Molly releases dopamine, right? One time I went through an event that I deemed it was semi-traumatizing. It wasn't that traumatizing, but the Molly and the side effects of the Molly, it amplified what happened. So I was miserable after this event took place. I was crying like a baby crying. I don't usually cry like that. It takes a lot for me to cry, but I only do that through depression. Depression is a different type of crying when you're depressed. When you're depressed, it's not just simple tears when you're depressed. You're whining. You're spiritually broken, emptiness, sadness. It's a different type of feeling when you're depressed. So I'm whining, and I'm doing this in front of a woman. I'm looking sad. I'm in front of my girlfriend. She's looking at me like, this guy's looking like, what's he going through? He must have some deep underlying issues. I'm whining. I'm like, God, why? Why, God, why? It sounds crazy right now. All right. So now, after going through the experience, I went through that experience like twice on it. So I had to hold up, pump my brakes. I have to reassess this drug that I'm taking. I don't find it to be so great no longer. Okay. So me, I'm the type of person, I do my research. I did my Googles, right? So from hence when I did my Googles, I found out that Molly, synthetic Molly, it's like ecstasy. It releases dopamine. And when you go through certain experiences, it could deplete your dopamine. Meaning dopamine is like a reservoir. You have a certain amount of it. Yes, the body does reproduce dopamine, but you got to give it time. I wasn't producing enough dopamine in time. I used up all my dopamine through the Molly. So when it was time for me to come out of that situation, I couldn't come out of the situation. There was no chemical there to relieve me. There was no happy chemical. There was no reward system. There was no balance there. So I remained in that emptiness, in that sadness. I remained in that place, that dark. It was a very dark space. Very dark space. The gray cloud over my head. Very dark space. Very. I never want to experience that again, to be honest with you. That's depression amplified. Man, one of the worst experiences in my life. And I didn't go through it once, I went through it twice. And this is all through synthetic drugs, Molly. All right. So you guys keep in mind, when you take a Molly, you taking cocaine, these drugs, also coffee, and marijuana does it too. You can abuse the dopamine in your body is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Okay. So these are different causes of depression. Past relationships, the breakups, that can lead to depression because you keep dwelling on the past and everything that messed up in a relationship. Let that girl go. Ladies, let that man go. I know sometimes it's not that easy because they got a thing called soul tie. Well, you better figure out that soul tie. You better find a way to break that spell. All right? You have no control over nobody but yourself. It's your perception in life. Change your perception. Reality only exists in your head. You can only be responsible for you. You can only change your point of view. You can only control you. You cannot control anybody outside of you. Is what I'm trying to get to, y'all. You can't change the past. You can't live too much in the future. Live in the now, in the present. Live in the present. Okay? So these are a lot of the causes of depression. Sometimes depression is passed down through family, okay? It can be passed down through your DNA, genetics. But there's ways of changing that. Through meditation, affirmation. We're affirmation warriors. So you got to speak things into existence. I am. I feel good. I'm blessed by Most High. I'm in control of my life. The devil's a lie. There's affirmation. There's things that you can say that could change your DNA makeup. So yes, depression is passed down through DNA also. Your father's past experience. They say even slavery and stuff like that's passed down through our DNA, our genetic code. Believe that. Things are passed down genetically. Remember, Most High is divine. Most High gives us all the tools necessary to get us out of any situation, especially biologically, what we experience in our body. There's healing methods, okay? What also leads to depression? Lack of sunlight, lack of vitamin D, okay? Sunlight is great for helping release dopamine and also serotonin. These are all happy chemicals. You need these chemicals in your system, all right? But lack of sunlight can lead to depression because lack of vitamin D. Some people suffer from vitamin D deficiency, all right? There's a thing called the pineal gland. The pineal gland, that's your third eye. It's right there. There's a compartment in your head. Scientists knows of this. The Egyptians knew of it. It's the pineal gland, your third eye. Your third eye. We all have a third eye, an all-seeing eye that sees further than these two eyes, these two physical eyes, that sees beyond the three-dimensional realm. Remember, we are multi-dimensional people, multi-dimensional spirits having a physical experience. Meaning our spirit extends beyond the three-dimensional realm, fourth, fifth, etc., etc. All right? And the pineal gland helps with that. That adds to that intuition. The pineal gland sees further than the third dimension. The pineal gland is responsible for astral projection. When you go to sleep at night and you're traveling through the cosmos, that's the pineal gland allowing you to do that. Your third eye. But guess what? A lot of our third eye is calcified. The walls are coated. It's calcified, meaning they're coated. There's a thick coat around these walls. So it makes it hard for the pineal gland to omit or absorb a signal to send that energy through. It's hard, right? Because it's a hardened, picture it as a hardened shell, calcified, like callus on your hand. The walls are calcified. You can't get a clear signal out. The pineal gland. Do your research on the pineal. The Egyptians knew about the pineal gland. That's that all-seeing eye. They call that the third eye, the eye of Horus, I think. Do your research, right? but that's the third eye. Now, the sun, when you guys sit there in the sun and sun gaze, that helps to decalcify the pineal gland, the third eye. That takes that shell, that callus off of the eye. So you can emit a clear signal and receive a clear signal. Also, being in the sun helps release serotonin. It increases dopamine. So go get you some sunlight. All right? Now, we're going to speak of different ways. We're going to speak of different ways to help increase dopamine. There's different ways that you can increase dopamine. For one, 30 seconds of exercise. I'm a personal trainer. You'll be surprised what exercise can do for releasing dopamine. It don't cost nothing. I was about to say go join a gym, but that might cost a monthly, right? Scratch that. Scratch that. You don't need no gym. Just going outside and exercising, that's a way of releasing dopamine. All right? Exercising. Simple exercising, completing your exercises. Remember, it's part of a sensory reward system. It's the same way like when your boss compliments you for doing a great job. Well, your body's going to feel like you're doing a great job when you complete an exercise. You do 3 sets of 10 reps each. So for example, push-ups, you get down and you do your push-ups, 10 push-ups, wop, 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 wop. Chill, 30 seconds. Get down, do another 10 push-ups, wop, 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 wop. Those are reps. Chill, 30 seconds. 30-second intervals. Take a 45-second, maybe a minute interval, but not too much in between. All right? You do a third set. By the time you complete your exercise, 30 minutes of exercises alone, you're going to get a dopamine release. Your body's going to release dopamine, happy chemicals. You're going to feel satisfied, satisfactory, happy chemicals, sensory reward system. Yeah, that's what's going on. All right? So that's a way of fighting depression. Go get you some sunlight. Go do some sun gazing. That's a way of fighting depression. Stand in that sun, get some vitamin D. Hello. That's a way of fighting depression. Rip that person. Take that person and rip them off the couch. Lie to them if you have to. Get your families and friends off the couch. I don't care how much they're kicking and scratching and fighting and disrespecting. If you're a real friend, real family member, get them off the couch. Get them off the couch. Lie to them. Yeah. That's the one time where it's reasonable to lie. You're allowed to lie to save somebody's life. Yeah. Now, another thing, great conversation. Great conversation amongst your friends. The people that's why I said misery love company now. You absorb people's energy. You got to be mindful of that. You got to be cognizant of the people that you surround yourself with. Every frequency omits and absorbs the same frequency. Name your 5 friends. Out of your 5 friends, you become the average. Your company, birds of a feather flock together. Find you some new company if all your friends are miserable, because that can induce your depression. All right? So what you want to do is find you some great positive conversation. Sit down with these people, enjoy their company, absorb their knowledge, their wisdom, their stories. That's ways of increasing dopamine. Go out and laugh. Find things, find the amusement in things. Laugh. Life, don't take life too serious. Laugh. That's ways of releasing dopamine. Same way sex. Remember, dopamine is released through pleasure also. So it's a pleasure to laugh. You ever heard somebody say it's a pleasure to be around you? Like it's a pleasure to be around me? You ever had somebody say it's a pleasure to be around you? Well, pleasure is what releases dopamine also. Remember, I'm telling you this now. Okay? Now, also, meditation methods, meditation techniques. You can vibrate at a higher level just by meditating in a certain way. Your body starts to resonate. 528 megahertz. There's a certain megahertz that your body resonates at, that the earth resonates at, right? That's healing. It can heal your body. You can heal your own body if you know how to meditate correctly through vibration. You ever seen a tone fork? The ancient Egyptians, they had a tone fork. It was a fork. And when you hit it on a solid object, it resonates at a certain frequency. And there was different forks for different frequencies. That 528 megahertz. Remember, I told you. There's a devil's note also. There's a note. You ever seen a tone? You can hit a certain, you can grab a certain tone fork and hit a solid surface and shatter glass. Shatter glass. I'm telling you guys. Remember, I tell you, meditation techniques, that's a way of relieving yourself of this depression. Meditative techniques. So there's different ways of relieving yourself of depression. Trust me when I tell you. And it don't cost you $1. It does not cost you $1. Be careful of taking these drugs and different things that amplify depression, that feed depression. Be cognizant of your environment and what you come into contact with, what you're eating, what you're consuming, what you're thinking, what you're surrounding yourself with. These things can amplify depression. All right? Now, hopefully today we touched down on some great things. I feel as though we did, right? Like I told you guys, I suffered. If I didn't tell you, I suffered from slight depression at one point. I did. And I would smoke my weed. I'm smoking my weed. And I noticed that I didn't like going outside after a while. And as a kid, I loved sunlight. I'm black, my melanin. I love sunlight. We need that sunlight. We need that sunlight. A lot of black people suffer from lack of vitamin D. But me, I used to love basking in the sun. But at times when I was depressed, I noticed I would stay inside and I would be smoking my weed inside. You know, I used to be a heavy chiefer, right? Smoking. And I find myself not wanting to go outside. I'm resting on the couch. I would say, yeah, I'll go out. And I end up just sitting there. I'd had plans to go out. I just sit there and say, you know what? Whatever I got to do, I probably can do it tomorrow. Yeah, I'll save it for tomorrow. And that's what we do when you suffer from depression. All right? I had to get my thing together. Slow down on the marijuana a tad bit. Yeah, slow down. Get out a tad bit. Get out. Go to the gym. Force myself to leave the house. Yeah, I had to do that. And I suggest you guys do that also, okay? You guys, I did a 30-day no smoking marijuana challenge. You guys get a chance, check out on the channel. I'm on day number 28 of no smoke. I haven't smoked marijuana in 28 days. Nor have I consumed any white processed sugar, okay? So for 28 days now, I haven't smoked no marijuana. I have 2 days left on my challenge. 2 days left. By Tuesday, today's Sunday, so by Tuesday, that'll be my last day. That'll be day number 30. And on Wednesday, I'm going to take my marijuana drug test kit. I went and purchased a test kit from CVS yesterday. If you guys get a chance, check it out on the channel. I'm on day number 28. I chronologically, I documented every single day. There's a video for every day of my challenge. So imagine today's day number 28. All the way from day 1 to now, I have a video for every single day. And I documented the whole journey. I speak about how to prevent yourself from relapsing, because a lot of people relapse during the challenge. A lot of people are participating in the challenge. People join me in this challenge, okay? Shout out people from Portugal, Turkey, Spain, Africa. Everybody's joining in. And I documented the whole journey. So I spoke about how to prevent. Video number 8, how to prevent from relapsing. Video number 13, the cheat code. There's a cheat code to overcoming your addiction. There's a cheat code to overcoming your addiction. There's a cheat code, and I give you guys a cheat code. All right. Video number 16. I forget what video 16 was about. Oh, the triggers of addiction. So this is substance abuse. All right. Drug abuse. Now, we're not demonizing marijuana. Not at all. Marijuana is made by Most High, and I'm still going to smoke marijuana. I do shrooms, but I just want to do it in moderation. I came up with this. The 4 M's. Marijuana is for medication, all right, used in meditation, only to be used in moderation. The 4 M's. I came up with that, okay? Medication, marijuana, medication for meditation to be used in moderation. That's all. I just want to control my habit. There's no demonizing marijuana. Some people use marijuana. Some people use marijuana for medicative reasons, medication, suffer from insomnia, acute pain in their body. I have a friend that suffers from seizures. Rick Ross suffers from seizures. A lot of people suffer from seizures. All right? In that case, there's nothing wrong with having your marijuana, your dosage every day. It is a plant, it's a medication, it's a divine plant provided by the Most High. Okay? So there'll be no demonizing. No, Matumbo finger index. No demonizing marijuana. But we do want to control our habit, okay? So if you guys get a chance, check out the videos. Like I said, we're on day number 28. All right, today's Sunday. We have 2 days left, Monday and Tuesday. Every day I drop a video. So Wednesday, we're going to take that test kit. I'm going to take the test and I'm going to show you guys that I'm able to remove the THC and marijuana from out my system. It takes about 2 weeks to a month to remove marijuana out of your system, the THC chemicals. All right. And in my case, I'm pretty sure it's going to take a month because I'm a heavy chiefer. I'd probably smoke a half an ounce in a day and a half. No longer than 2 days, I'm smoking a whole half an ounce. Maybe even a day I could smoke a half an ounce. Definitely I can. Most definitely I could smoke a half an ounce in a day. Most definitely. And I've done it before. All right. So you guys, I hope this can be very useful. This is episode number 2 of Raise the Frequency. Check me out. Hold up. Let me brighten this up a little bit. All right. This is episode number 2 of Raise the Frequency program. All right. Hopefully this could be useful to you guys. I want you guys to share this. Do me a favor. Don't be a ninja watcher. Ninja watcher. It's a person that be creeping and watching. Don't be no pocket watcher. Because that's to say, hey, you definitely don't want to be a peeping Tom. Y'all know what they do to peeping Toms? Don't go to jail. You want to find out. You heard? Now, also, I need you guys to turn your notification bells on. Please turn your notification bells on so you guys get notified every time that I drop new content on this page. RTF, Raise the Frequency. Okay? I need you guys to turn your notifications on. Also, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you smashing that subscription button. All right? Wipe your feet on the rug. Last but not least, I need you guys to wipe your feet on the rug. And what I'm referring to is, when I say wipe your feet on the rug, that signifies you guys hitting the like button. Why I say wipe your feet on the rug? When you go into your grandparents' or your parents' house, what do? Before you enter into the house, you wipe your feet on the rug before you enter. Why? Because you know on the bottom of your shoe, you got dirt and bacteria, right? You're coming from outside. Well, you're coming into this holy sanctuary, this temple, all right? This is the temple of the Most High where the frequency is raised. We raising our frequency here. Do me a favor, wipe your feet on the rug and hit that like button, that thumbs up. That's all I'm asking from you guys. It doesn't cost you nothing. And do me a favor, if you don't suffer from depression, if you're a person that you don't need no help, I find it hard to believe we all need some type of help, right? We're human beings. But if you see that this content, maybe you don't suffer from depression. Maybe your friends are all great friends. Maybe you don't have no misery company situations. Remember, there's going to be a lot of topics, and one of these topics are going to apply to you, okay? The pineal gland, things that we're speaking about, topics within topics. If it doesn't apply to you, share this with your family and friends. Share this with the people that you love that may be suffering from depression, people that you think that they should reconsider, reassess their friends and their surroundings and their environments. Pass that misery love company, episode number 1 to them, okay? And like I always say, you guys, nobody's promised tomorrow. So show the universe gratitude and thank God for breathing breath in our lungs so we can meet today. So you guys can see this video today. And one more thing, this is not by no coincidence that you're watching this, okay? We are one community, one conscious, okay? You don't know about quantum entanglement? Do you guys know about that? We'll get into that one day, okay? Listen, nonetheless, Nobody's promised tomorrow, you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And hopefully we'll meet up again. Our next episode is going to be about addiction. Oh, and I just want to say this. I almost forgot that. We're one community. We're one conscious, okay? So remember, the earth is conscious. The earth is alive. All beings are one conscious, meaning man and animals. We're all one conscious. So not just the earth, not just man and animals, but also the plants. Yeah, the plants. We're all one conscious. So keep that in mind, okay? We're all working in unison, whether you realize that, whether you're conscious of it or not. We're all working in one unison, one conscious, okay? So one affects the other. Remember, I told you. With that being said, I'm out. Salute. Peace.